I know this is a sensitive subject that this woman, Sonya Massey, was murdered in her own home by a police officer, but I'm here to bring a little bit of logical thought to this situation. Now, when the police showed up, as you can see on the body cam, she said that she was on medication. So the officer should have took that into consideration. But you can also tell by the body cam that officer, the one who ended up taking that woman's life, he was an asshole on a fucking power trip, and he shouldn't have been a police officer. And he deserves everything he gets and should be fried. Should get the death penalty as far as I'm concerned. But you can't blame every single police officer in this country for the actions of one individual. I'm an ex-convict. I've dealt with police my whole life, and I've met really good police officers, and I've met straight assholes that shouldn't be police officers that are on a power trip. There's bad apples in every bunch. But if you paid really close attention to that whole body cam footage, the cops that showed up on the scene, they wouldn't even look this guy in the face because they knew what he did was fucking wrong, and they were ashamed. Not all cops are like that. My thing is that there needs to be more not defunding, but more funding for police departments so they're able to hire better candidates and have better training. You can't stick a 21-year-old kid out there. This guy was 26. You can't stick these young people out on the streets and expect them to understand anything about the streets. You can't teach that in an academy. You can't teach street smarts in an academy. And most of these kids that are going to be police officers that are 20 years old, 21 years old, you give them a badge and a gun and a uniform, and they're going to think that they are on a higher level than the average person because their mind isn't completely adapted to their position and what their responsibilities actually are, and that is to serve and protect and do no harm. So we need to look into the police officers having an age before they could even become a police officer and be on the streets. And I think it's at least 30. Look, I understand that the system is flaws and has holes in it, and it needs to be repaired. And I also know that that's not going to happen overnight. And I have personal experience with this. But we can't make this a racial thing, because just as mad as black folks are about this situation, so are the white folks and everybody else. So instead of letting this divide us, this should bring us together, because together we can make change.